Hello, in this video I will be covering how to do double half hitch knots. So if you did watch the first video, you should have your dowel all set up and you should have your 8 pieces of yarn all splayed out on your dowel using the lovely reverse larkhead knot seen up here. So in order to do our double half hitch knot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my anchor yarn, and that's what I'm just going to be calling every piece of yarn that we will be knotting the other yarns to. So anchor yarn. I'm going to take my anchor yarn and I'm going to place it over this way. So we're going to be doing a vertical double half hitch. And holding my anchor yarn very tight, I'm going to take my working yarn, which is the one right next to it, and I'm going to pull it through like so. And just to show you what I just did, I place my yarn over the anchor like so, you can kind of see, and I make a little smile of sorts. You can see right there. Note how I did place it over the anchor yarn. You're always going to want to make sure that it's over the anchor yarn, otherwise it won't come out right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the rest of that yarn through the little smile we made, pull it and tighten it like so. So we're just going to repeat that step again, this time going maybe a little bit fast. Bam. I'm just doing this over and over again to show you that when you make your double half hitch knot, it might be necessary to adjust it so that it looks the right way or the way you personally want. So here you see I've kind of begun on my knot right here. We're just going to take another piece of yarn, pull it through, make a smile, knot it, adjust. Right, pull it through. Again, make sure that it's over. See how it's over our anchor? Pull it through, knot it, and adjust. So I'm just going to continue working on this knot until we get to our finished product, which you should see in just a moment. All right, so here you see I have a completed vertical double half hitch knot. You can see it kind of just makes a big line of little loops that look quite lovely. You'll notice me using the word vertical, and because there's actually other ways to do half hitch knots, and one such way that you'll find is very common is a diagonal. So you'll notice that when I was doing my verticals, I was holding my anchor yarn very tightly like this. A diagonal half hitch knot pretty much uses the same exact knot. Nothing is very different, except when I hold my anchor yarn, I'm going to be holding it at a diagonal the entire time that I'm working. So it works pretty much just the same. I'm going to be taking my anchor yarn and my working yarn, place my working yarn over my anchor, make my little smile, and pull it through the loop. Let's do that again. There we go. So you immediately notice how there's that bit of a separation right there. We're just going to keep working on that. The cool thing about double half hitch knots is that as you're working, you'll find that a lot of these strands right here are going to still be visible. It makes a very nice decorative effect that makes the double half hitch knot quite a popular macrame knot. So again, working on our diagonal half hitch. You'll see that when I was doing my diagonals, I had to adjust slightly more than I was doing my verticals. I think it's just the way the yarn is. No biggie, you just have to kind of pull through, push it over a little bit, make sure that it's nice and tight, and keep on working. So I'm just going to keep doing it in this direction. If you wanted to, you could continue just going directly in this diagonal direction. As you could see, it would just go all the way down until we would stop right there. But I am actually going to show you how to do a bit of a chevron, since a lot of macrame patterns will have that as a decorative feature. So I'm now going to transition, and I'm using a different anchor yarn. This will now be my anchor yarn, and I'm actually going to pull it towards kind of where I stopped right here. And this time, we're literally just doing the same exact knot, except this time I'm holding my anchor yarn in my dominant hand, and I'm working with my other hand. So make my little loop, pull it tight. Same exact thing, should be pretty easy, just working with the other hands. There we go. And I'm gonna try and hold it in the exact same direction that I did with this one. This is something that can be a little difficult. You'll find that your hand might want to slip a little bit, maybe go in different directions, but it should not be too big of a deal. There we go. So as you can see, not totally perfect, but again, macrame is something that takes quite a bit of practice, and mistakes are very common. And the good thing is that all these knots are relatively simple to redo or untie if needed. So once you get to this part, you might be a little confused as to what to do. You'll find that these were actually the 2 strings I used as my anchor. So you might not know which one to knot or which one would be better to knot, but I'm here to give you the great excellent news that it doesn't really matter which one you use as long as you select one as your anchor. So I'm just going to be using this one, and your other will be your working. So using my working yarn, I'm going to be doing what I've done quite a bit, making my double half hitch knot, just doing that, and after that I'm just kind of adjust my yarn a little bit to make it nice and pretty. And there we've made a diagonal, another diagonal, and a vertical half hitch knot. So that should get you pretty much all set up for any pattern that you would like to attempt. Thank you.